Hey everyone, it is Demo Donna here with Queen & Company, and I am going to be showing you a Queen & Company classic tonight, which is our Fancy Frames Shaker Kit. This kit is a ton of fun. You've got the 4 different frames. You've got 3 of each foam and acetate, so that is a total of 12 pieces to create 3 of each shaped shaker. And then you also have a fabulous stamp set, and that includes, this is nice because this is a kind of all themed kit. So you've got thank you from the bottom of my heart, thinking of you, sending you hugs and lots of get well wishes, get well soon wishes. The most special thing about this card is the person holding it. I really like that one. That's cute. We need that stamped on like all of our cards. Life is better with a friend like you. It's time to celebrate a very special birthday. So again, very cool stamp set, especially if you're new to Queen & Company and just getting into shakers. This is a great basic shaker kit to get started. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Cut out your frame, stamp the inside of it, throw your shakers in. I've got a couple of samples, and then we are going to make a shaker card as well as a non-shaker ornament. So here are the few samples, and this is a live from a while ago when I was doing the shrink film. So this is a fun fold card. So if you've never created one, take a stroll down our videos and you'll be able to find, actually this is a YouTube video, I think. Come to think of it, I might have done both, a YouTube and a live. So here is a sample of the blue and the pink with the same card doing that fun fold, which is always good, especially if you're making a lot of simple A2 cards to just play around with something new. And then here is a sample of a remake of this card right on the front there. So this guy right here. So just like you guys, it's fun sometimes to just recreate the cards on the cover. Makes life a little easier. All right, so I am going to be using holiday paper today. I am going to be using the Merry and Bright paper pad. And I don't even know if I said hi to you guys. Hello, everybody. I know it's the holidays, so getting people to come and join us. Everyone has holiday parties to go to and hanging out with friends and family. So those of you that took time out of your busy December schedule to hang out with me, thank you for joining me tonight. Okay, so for my first one, I'm going to be creating a shaker. And what's kind of nice when you're traveling during the holidays is to bring some thank you cards with you. Especially I do this when I travel over the summer so I can leave a thank you card if we stop in and have dinner with a friend. So like I said, if you're traveling over the holidays, it's kind of nice to pre-make some holiday thank you cards, and that's what we are going to be doing tonight with this shaker. So I had one piece of this red paper from the paper pad left. So like that trick I've shown you before, I went and I cut out the inside as well, and I'm going to be layering that and then attaching that to an A2 card base. So you can't see that I cut out the frame from the center as well. And we currently do not have the outline dies, so I'm going to show you how to create your shakers without your outline dies tonight. Well, one shaker and one non-shaker. All right, so I'm just going to put the adhesive around the edges there, and I'm going to layer that. This is a really simple card too. So again, when you're creating just some basic thank yous or basic holiday cards or birthday cards, if you want to load up your stash, this combo is literally my favorite. I know for those of you that have been watching our lives for a while know that. And that is using the foundation die number 8, and that's what I cut the red out with, and foundation die number 4. If you have printed out Ginger's new sketches this week, she added another die in here, which is foundation die number 11. So I bet you that trio of foundation dies is going to totally be my new favorite. Okay, what I'm going to do next is, like I said, we are going to create our shaker. and I am not using the outline dies. So I am going to take the double-sided foam. I already popped the inside out, and I am going to gently peel that protective layer off and then just set this on top of my card here. And I am just going to, now if you squish too hard on this, you're actually going to manipulate the shape of your card, not your card, that would be funny. You're going to manipulate the shape of your foam. So I'm gently handling it, and I'm going to drop that down, doing my best to make it even, and then adding that on there. So now I've got my foam piece just on top of my card. Something else I want to mention with this kit is if you go and you check out the sketches, usually there's like a smaller die in the middle. I don't have any right close to me, or I would show you. And I would just remove that die, and that's where you can go and add a frame. So these frames would work great on most of our sketches. Okay, so what I have done next is I cut out, like I said, from the back of that red paper, I cut out my decorative die that comes in the kit. And that piece removed from the center, I stamped with white embossing powder. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you don't do heat embossing, you could cut this out in white, and you could stamp your stamp saying in red on the inside, and then you could go ahead and cut out a red frame as well. So I know some of you are new to even card making, so creating, embossing and all that stuff is kind of new. So there are definite alternatives to heat embossing. I like the way the white embossing powder looks. So I'm going to add a little bit of sheer glue on the back of that, and then go ahead and drop that in the back of my shaker here. And you can just kind of wiggle that around, center that, and now you have the back of your shaker card. And there is like a thin little frame around, and it's showing that background paper, and I think that actually looks cool. It adds like an added element to your shaker card. So don't worry that this doesn't completely cover like an outline die does. Oh, did I ask what I was using? What actual kit I'm using? This is the Fancy Frames kit. Thank you for answering for me, Dee. Okay, so I've got my foundation die 8, foundation die 4. I've added my foam frame, and then I just took the negative and embossed it with white embossing powder. So next what I'm going to do, because it says thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the foundation die number 9, there are 2 heart dies, and I am going to add those to the inside of my shaker. The neat thing about this shaker set is because you have so much room, you can actually add fun little die shapes inside of your frames, which I think are really fun, and add another element to your shakers, because when you set these upright and your shakers sit on the bottom, you still have a fun decorative element, which is really cool to look at when all of your shaker bits are sitting on the bottom of your shaker. So just something else to think about. Okay, and I cut out, because I have a red background, I am layering a little red and white card. I could have also done a light pink. I just wanted my little heart to pop in there. Since, I'm very thankful from the bottom of my heart. What does that really mean? I'm sure the story of where that saying comes from is quite interesting, right? It's never what you think it is. Okay, so now I have my cute little stamp saying inside my shaker, my 2 layered hearts, and now I'm going to go ahead and add my toppings. And darn it, it was on my list to see if these were in stock. These are the holiday lights. They might have all gone away, actually, during our Black Friday sale, but hopefully they're still in stock. I really do try to just demo things that are in stock. But this is a really cute mix of lights and trees and diamonds. So I am going to do some of those. And then I also thought it would be fun because I've got the orange and the pink to add some pops. So I'm just gonna add a couple little orange pops. Remember, this is a holiday thank you card, so we don't have to be super traditional, and I'm not traditional anyways. You guys already know that about me. No, Fancy Frames isn't sold out. It shouldn't be. Oh, if you go, I did this earlier. If you go to the search and you type in Fancy Frames, it doesn't come up for some reason. So go in and type frames and it will come up. I forgot to mention that to Wendy. Look at, I'm trying to get all my things in order, all my ducks in a row before tonight. And yes, I forgot to mention, if you go to search and you search Fancy Frames, it doesn't come up. But if you search frames, these will come up. And I forget what they are. I forget what they're in there as. Maybe fun frames. I don't know. Check it out. I'll look after this. But so with this type of shaker, because I have my stamp saying up here and I have my heart. Oh, good. Denise, did it show up as frames? And that's how you found it? Hopefully that's the case. I'm glad you found it. Okay. Look at that. I'm reading and working. I'm multitasking. This is big for me. After almost 2 years of doing demos for you guys, I'm finally getting the hang of it. Okay. So with this shaker, you don't want to overstuff it because you do want them to be able to read their little saying inside. Now, another thing, and I have demoed this before, or we have some YouTube videos on it, is oh, Fancy Lights is sold out. Darn it. Okay, so just ignore that I use those. Pops. Pops are so exciting. Use your pops, everybody. Get your pops today. All right, good to know. Bummer. Well, I'm sure someone on here has like 4 bags of them and they would love to share with you. All right, so what I was trying to say is you can actually heat set on acetate. So what you do if you want to heat set on acetate, and therefore your saying is on top, and you never have to worry about toppings covering it, is you take a little static free, stamp it very carefully. This is definitely not a newbie trait, because stamping on acetate is like stamping on glossy cardstock. So it is very slick, and I always recommend practicing first. So if you have like some extra acetate you can practice on, definitely try that. But you stamp, you heat set, and you don't want to overcook because it will obviously melt, but it is heat resistant, which is good to know. I'm taking my giant piece of acetate and I am currently laying it out on top of that top piece and bottom piece before I set it down. So once I bow it in the center, which I have found that really works best for me, especially with the larger ones, then I just layer it on top and we're good to go. Okay, let's give it a good shake. Of course, my little lights are going to be, but I like the orange and the blue and the pinks in there because it pulls in my Christmas light color in the background. Okay, so next I am going to take my sheer glue and I am going to give it a nice little even layer around my shaker. There we go. And then I'm going to take my decorative die, which is included in this kit. And the joy about the sheer glue is that it gives you a little wiggle room. You have time to move that around because it's a wet adhesive. And for those of you who can't seem to get a thin amount on, something else you could always do is you could squeeze a little out and you could take a brush and you can brush it on. Just make sure you clean your brush right away. Anything that involves cleaning right away, I'm usually not very good at. But that's just another technique if you tend to over pour it on. Or you can just scrape it off with a piece of scrap paper, which is what I've done as well. All right, so here is our very simple thank you card. And the last but not least thing I am going to do is from foundation die number 9. I just cut out just a couple little pieces of greenery. And I am just going to go and add a little, I'm just going to add a little craft glue to them just because I have a nice thin little guy here. And I am going to just add a little cluster. I'm not going to add any flowers. Just a little bit of glue. And of course now I've already gotten a blobby glue mess. You're not the only one that applies too much glue sometimes. We all do it. And I'm going to add my third one kind of across there. And just to add like a fun little on top of my shaker element, you can of course add some flowers. We're currently sold out of the holiday foundation die, so that's why I'm not using it tonight. Again, I try to just show you guys things that we have in stock. But a really simple thank you holiday card. And I am just gonna go and grab some, you don't really even need much, but I think I'm gonna take some, I of course didn't bring any bling over here. I was just worried about my other goodies. We're just gonna do a couple little red, since it's here, we're just gonna add some red rhinestones. Just a couple, just like that. And again, simple thank you card. If you're hanging out with friends or family for the holidays or going over and want to thank somebody, I love making holiday themed-ish thank you cards. All right, now for the fun part. You guys are going to enjoy this. I'm sure you already saw my photo for my photo frame ornament. This is one of my beautiful besties, Carrie, and the only reason I'm using this is because she is sweet enough to send me printed out photos, and we're pretty silly together, so I figured this was a perfect ornament to make her. And I have no photos printed because I am not good at that. Raise your hand if you're with me. Okay, so a really simple way to create your adorable, hilarious, bestie photo frame holiday ornament, yeah, say that 5 times fast, is to cut out, I liked this one just because it was simple, and since there are no outline dies available, I figured this shape is a very easy one to cut. So I am using this really fun and very busy star background. I am not wearing the right colors for this, but that's okay. It's totally like, you know, if I were doing this, it would have been a black and white photo, keep it really simple, but no, we're going to be silly tonight. So what I first recommend doing is framing out your photo with whatever frame you want to use and figuring out how you're going to cut that out. And I'm pretty much just going to take from, you know, the neck up. There's not a lot of other things to use here. Then I'm going to take that negative piece from my frame and I am going to cover up, and I'm just going to grab my scissors and I am going to cut around it, just leaving about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch, nothing that exciting around it. There we go. And then you could throw this away. I don't know where she gets her photos printed, but they sure turn out nice. Whenever I do it, they don't look that great. Hence why I don't have any. All right, so now I've got my photo frame here. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take this die here, and this is from foundation die number 10. And I just kind of went through my foundation dies and I was checking to see what would fit. You can also just cut out, because I'm not really using the stitching. So you can obviously too just cut out a piece that will fit behind this. And that's gonna be my photo mat. So I definitely recommend using some red liner tape. I mean, I know you scrapbookers are really into all of the photo-friendly everything, and that is exactly what red liner tape is. This photo is not going to be, you know, I mean, it is going to be all, gosh, what was all the things that we used to have to say for scrapbooking? Like archival safe, there it is, archival safe, acid-free, you know, all the spiel that us demoers would have to say about scrapbooking. Yeah, so red liner tape is that. It's all the things that you're looking for and more. So don't you worry, you can use it on your photos. But my point is, this is a fun little ornament. It is not being, you know, sold by the masses or going to be put up in Hallmark. So I am just adding a little bit of adhesive to my photo. I'm sure you could use, you scrapbookers, you people out there, you scrapbooking folk probably have your favorite adhesives. By the way, these little things are not acid-free or archival safe. And I'm currently putting my fingertips all over the front of my photo, which must be making my fellow scrapbookers like lose their mind and go bananas. But that's okay. My girlfriend wants my fingerprints all over our faces. I can almost guarantee it. Okay, so I am just going to center that in there. If you don't want to touch your photo, you can always take another piece of paper to push that down so I don't completely horrify you guys. There we go. And now I have cut out my frame, and I've also taken, you guys are gonna love this, a piece of cardboard from, I think this was a Swiffer little duster thing, but you can use cereal boxes, you can use your mac and cheese boxes, you can use any of your boxes, and that will cut through your die cut machine. I just ran it through twice, and now I have a thicker layer. You can also do like 4 layers or 3 layers of cardstock, but really simple. I would again use red liner tape, but we are not going to red liner tape everything. This ornament only needs to look cute for this year when I give it to her. And then if it falls apart, you know, I won't be there to see it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, everybody. I'm kidding. I would highly recommend using red liner tape for all of your layering on anything that you want to have, or your sheer glue too, because that's a good product that will last. Okay, so now I have a thicker rather than just paper. So when I make ornaments out of paper, which I do every year, I did about 40 snow globes last year for my son's school and teachers and other parents that go to the school. Okay, so when I make paper ornaments, I try to always back it up, or I laminate things and lay it on lamination. So this is going to be my photo frame. You can absolutely use your piece of acetate over this if you want to cover up your photo. Obviously, I'm not going to. I'm saving my acetate for my shakers. Again, I would 100% be using red liner tape to go around my frame, but we're cheating. So we are going to just cover that up. Look at my adhesive won't even stick on it. Again, your red liner tape is very important here. Do as I say, not as I do. All right, we are going to frame the 2 silly girls trying on these hats, which the reason we are laughing hysterically is because I think they were like $100 each, and we were just like, this is so hilarious that, you know, people would spend this money on these hats that we can get like, you know, at a souvenir shop for $10 in Florida, right? Or at the beach. And, well, I guess nothing's $10 anymore. What am I talking about? All right, I'm using my red liner tape now to seal off my frame. So you guys should be proud of me. You know, I'm hoarding my red liner tape because I'm actually running low on it. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just going around my edges now. I'm going to do 1 and 2. And I'm sure you hear I have humans in my home. It's the holidays. They tend to just start showing up and eating your food. You know how it goes, right? Okay, I'm going to trim. I'm not going to trim that. We're going to do 2. Okay, maybe 3. All right, I'm getting lazy. Just finish it properly, demo. Okay, that's what happens too when you're on like your 50th card or ornament. You're like, okay, what can I leave out now? Do I really need 12 stars? Or can I just put like 3 at this point? Just kidding, I would never do that. Wink, wink. Okay, so I've got my red liner tape. Next, what I'm going to do is take my 1/8 ribbon, and we are going to make a simple little hook for my ornament. And I am just gonna do a little hoop, and I am gonna trim it. And then I'm gonna take another little piece of red liner tape. And then we are going to peel that up. And I am going to do my little loop, just like so. And I'm gonna take my second piece of red liner tape, and I'm just gonna layer that right in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know the center, if I count 4 out from each of these, obviously this is gonna be different for each frame that you picked, but this one's really easy because you can just simply count to the center, which is 4 from each side. And then I'm gonna go ahead and peel off all my other pieces. And now what's really cute about this is you can write something on the back. Again, I've mentioned many times I have terrible writing, so if I wanted to put anything back here, I would probably print it out on my little tiny printer, like, always a good time with you. I don't know, whatever you say to your best friend. All right, and then I'm just gonna drop this right on top. I'm gonna probably hold it so I make sure it's nice and even, because we're using our red liner tape and we know how permanent that is. So I am simply going to put that on, and now I've got the back of my frame, and as you can see, my little ribbon's hanging out. But guess what? We're using all of our pieces. So remember that leftover piece that we had from the front? Oh yeah, we're gonna stick it right there on the back. Cover that up, make that look cute. Plus, if your ornament turns around, ornament, I always say it wrong. My husband corrects me all the time. I put a D in it. Have I said it wrong this whole time? I have no idea. Don't tell him. All right, how cute is that? But we're not done yet. But isn't that nice? It looks nice and complete. You've used all your pieces. It's thick, so this isn't gonna just bend and fold on your tree. Of course, I had to print out Life is Better with a Friend Like You. So yes, we're going to be using that. I'm going to add a, oh no, we're not doing that. We're going to, this is bow. Meet bow. This is beautiful bow die. And this is bow number 1. And I used 2 of the coordinating pink papers. I really wanted to use blue. I'm sure you noticed my blue nails. There was a lot of intention to use blue. I couldn't do it. I had to go pink. I feel like she would have appreciated the pink the most, so I went pink. Okay, I am taking, again, because this is going on our tree, I am taking the red liner tape, and I am going 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to drop in a little piece right there. I'm going to take my ribbon again, and I'm going to cut it right about here. And we are dropping down, we're having a little dangler. It's an ornament, it has to be fun. Ornament. Darn, did I say it wrong again? You know, you think you know someone like yourself and you could say the right things during a live, but nope. Okay, so I'm just gonna bend that. Just fold that a little bit. And then I am going to drop that down. Give it a good push with my fingernail tool. Here we go again with the red liner tape. And I'm going to do that. Drop that down. And I've got these cute little danglies, and we're going to add the stars. And we're going to make little star sandwiches. And I am going dark pink, and I am just going to take my ribbon here, and I again should be using red liner tape. It was actually terrible of me that I just used my, and I'm just going to throw the center of my star up top, flip that over. Maybe I'll even put a little craft glue on my ribbon. Add another star. There we go. For our star sandwich, it'll help if I hold them up so I can use my finger tools. And there is star sandwich number 1. Star sandwich number 2. Add a little rolly adhesive. Drop that down. There we go. Maybe to be on the safe side, add a little wet adhesive. Again, red liner tape would have been the best, but you know how I get sometimes? I just go, 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 go. Okay, pick that up like I said the first time to make sure those are nice and even. I've done this with the little donuts before for our donut shaker. I feel like those are kind of long. This one might need to be a little bit shorter, so it's like a little staggered. But guess what? No problem, because I can just cut it and fix it. So I'm going to peel that off, and I'm just going to, ooh, or maybe we could have 3. No, I changed my mind. We're not doing 3. Getting carried away. You guys need to reel me in. So we're going to go, let's go right about there. Trim that again. You got it. Red liner tape. Oh, so sad. I could see all the way to the end of it. Okay. Layer that on again, and I really push that down with my fingernail tools. And I am going to add a light pink and a dark pink inside of there. You can use our fabulous die sets, the alpha dies, and you could put the date on the back. Then you don't have to write anything. Right? Brilliant. You do it that way. So I've got my little star danglies. I am going to, I don't think I actually did make a video of my snow globe last year. I made so many. I definitely did not make a video. No. But if you hold tight, I will show you. All right, I am going to layer that in. And here is our adorable ornament. So we've got our fun little dangly stars, and those could be hearts. Those could, oh, did I put, and you could, oh, look it, like I cut out enough to do front and back of both of these. I mean, I should just finish the job. I know you wanted to say it, right? You could do little butterflies. You could do little flowers dangling on the bottom. Really cute. I have not designed the ornament that I'm making this year, and this was fun and quick and easy. Maybe I'll just do something like this. Take a picture of the school. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you've got cool little danglers. Like I said, those could be anything. And you've got your fun little ornament photo with a great little bow die. And then we have a really simple holiday thank you card. Very basic. Like I said, you can just load up on these bad boys if you're going places for the holidays. And there we go. And that was using our Fancy Frames kit, also known as Searching Frames kit. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. And I will see you one more time this year. Next Tuesday, I will come and hang out with you. I have no idea what I'm doing yet, but it will be fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.